Cathal Cronin. Okay, Cathal, 2019. Get an image, a good image of your final project. Maybe put some white sheets in the background so that it stands out. Get a good image of that in there. Get it pasted in there before you print it, and your exam number. Good man. Okay, one thing. Make sure your table of contents matches what's inside in the so make sure all these pages match exactly what's inside there. This joining methods, I don't think that I included that section in there. So will you copy and paste maybe finishes? So over here, if you go to the pages down here, there'll be all the pages on the left hand side, little thumbnails of them. Just right click on finishes, copy and paste, change the heading to joining methods, and maybe the first one do dovetails, put a picture of dovetails or whatever, a picture of mortise and tenon joints, just three different joints that you may use. Dowel joints, you use that in the final one. So put three different joining methods on it, please. Okay, just make sure they all match up. Okay, next one. Okay, so you've taken them all from there, that's fine. Good stuff, yeah, that's grand. That's alright. This is all okay, but kind of one should lead on to the other one. And maybe in woods, maybe you might separate woods into hardwoods and softwoods. So maybe hardwood, softwood, manufactured boards might be a good idea. And you have your different finishes there. If you could at all, put it in a spider diagram. That doesn't look too bad at all there, but if you could, it might be alright. It might look better. If it's going to take too much time, don't bother. Maybe you could put all that into one box. So copy and paste all that. So cut it out, then draw a text box, and then paste it into it, and then put it down here. Then cut that, draw another text box here, and paste it in there, and then have maybe arrows coming out of it. You could probably do it alright, but it's fine. It's not too bad at all. Okay, considerations. One of my biggest constraints will be time. Manufacturing high quality joints can take some time to execute. Design project may also take some time if we do not run into any trouble. Electrical part of the project. Don't know if you need to say remember now when you're writing this, it's in the past tense, or sorry, in the future. You're writing in the future tense, so you haven't done the project yet. Need time to varnish. Okay, so done by the 12th of April 2019, which is earlier than other years. Come on. My second biggest constraint will be keeping the artifact less than 450 and 450. I have a lot of designers that would like to feature in my project. Try and keep it. Okay, that's fine. The only thing is, it said your design considerations are why you chose the brief, where the final project's going to go, who is it going to be designed for, and how is it going to be used. So answer them 4 questions in here, Cathal. Alright. Design constraints. So time. You've put constraints up here. Like, one of my biggest constraints would be time. I think, I don't know. Carl, will you just read over? I think you have everything in here. You just need to arrange it in order. So if you look at the examples and the instructions I give you, design considerations is why you've chosen a brief, who you're designing for, where is it going to be used, how it will be used. Your design constraints are the thing that's going to give you an issue between now and getting the project done. So how are you going to create? So you have to make the thing look nice. It's going to be sitting on, it's going to be sitting on a windowsill. So you need to get a good finish on it, because it could get damp because it's by a window. You have maybe the size of the thing has to be 450 by 450, but maybe the windowsill also constrains how wide the thing is. So what's the size of the window ledge? So it needs to be a little bit. It needs to obviously fit up in the windowsill and not fall off. Yeah, so have a look at the headings I did under it. And there's examples there as well. So I think you have everything here. Like, everything looks alright. Just arrange it in order of the way I give it to you. The examples. Project planning is fine. That's fine there, good man. This needs to be filled in, Carl. So time management reflection. So write a paragraph explaining how you will cater for your strengths and weaknesses. So maybe go on about how you need to get it done in a certain amount of time. You're going to try and get the thing done early so that you have time to finish it, so that you have the time to put the extra bits of a few coats of Danish oil on it. Say that you've always been very good at the woodworking part of it, so you're going to allocate a lot of time for the portfolio part. Maybe you could say that isn't a strength, or I don't know, maybe identify an area of strength and weakness, and you're going to leave a bit of time for that because you know you're not so good at that part. Just a little bit about that you've thought about how you're going to spend your time. Aims: by the time the project is complete, I hope to use laminate to create a shape. That's fine, yeah, grand. I hope to have been able to manage my time correctly so to create a good man. Good man. I hope my project has a laminated border around the outside of it. Okay, right. Geez, you achieved that. What skills you need to achieve? Right. You could say something about, say, neatly put a laminate around the border of it. Maybe you could say something about the hurley shape. Say, maybe an aim of yours might be, I hope to incorporate some sort of feature that shows my love of GAA. Hopefully my love of GAA is shown in my final project or something like that. I hope to have used my time correctly and project completed and finished on time. Okay, great. Okay, good man. I asked 10 people favourite. I said oak, mahogany. Once a person said pine. Right, you might want to switch that around because you didn't actually go with oak, did you? So maybe you might find that a lot of them said ash. Now that you think about it, maybe a few more said pine rather than oak. Primary research, right? Primary research means that you've taken the photo, right? So primary research, that's what primary research means. That you have actually gone out and taken the photographs. Now that is a photo off the internet. I can clearly see it. So something that you've taken a photo of, so maybe a slitter that's going to go into it, maybe you could have taken a photograph of it. Maybe the windowsill it's going to go up in, there'd be no harm putting a photo of that in there. Maybe you could take a photograph of a bale of A4 pages that are going to be going into it. So you take the photographs and maybe write a little sentence about it and a sentence about it. So second or primary research, products. Okay, so primary research and primary research. Okay. Yeah, so that's your primary research. Then you've your products. So what's going to be going into command? So you've alright, okay, so you already have a hurley in there. So have a think about what's going into the page before. Okay, so letter, good man, so you have different sizes on that. That's fine. Yeah, they're perfect. Mood board, ideal. If you want, maybe you could put a little sentence at the end just explaining what's on your mood board, 2 or 3 sentences even. Product analysis examined under 2 headings. If you want, maybe you could add in another heading. Maybe cost might be one, or manufacture, since one has a curve and one doesn't. Maybe you could go on about the laminating here and that there's no laminating in here and it appears to be joined by some sort of dowel or a joint that can't be seen, so it must be a dowel or a biscuit joint. Maybe you could say that. You could say there's a hinge on that, there's drawers and a hinge, so there's a few more bits than you thought. Remember what I said as well about the joining methods at the start, Cathal. So maybe, so you have a page, you can copy and paste this page if you want, change that to joining methods on page 14 and 15, and then 3 different types of joining methods. So overview of that, that's fine, okay. Overview of that, see if she's let's say that command, yeah, that's all fine. Man-made boards, plywood, good man, yeah, very good. Epoxy resin, good stuff. Perspex, good stuff. But yeah, that's fine. Good man. Good images there as well for play to you. Finishes, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, they're all fine. Good stuff. Tenon saw, fine. Good man. Power tools, biscuit joiner, yes, fine. Yeah, it's fine. Fine. Stuff. Tools, machinery, perfect. Yeah. Alright. So, primary research. Okay. Right. So evaluation of research, you can see here, what are the key, like, it's an evaluation. So if you asked your mother and father something, that's what happened when you were researching. The evaluation and research, Cathal, is where you're saying what you learned from it. So nothing new should pop up here. So this is all stuff that you found out in your primary research. Your secondary research was when you were looking at the picture of the slitter or whatever, nothing new is in here. This is just evaluating what you've done previously. So primary research, that's something out of your questionnaire. Secondary research, that might be something out of the photographs you saw, or something you learned about. Them photographs that you saw. I know it says primary research top, but something about the products, the hole in it needs to be at this size because I want it to fit in slitters. Material research, yeah, that's something to do with the woods or the manufacture boards or whatever, something about that. Joining method, so I told you that you need to add in that section and say that you're going to use a particular joint, or one particular joint was stronger than you thought or something like that, so you're going to make sure that that is the one that's keeping the thing together or something like that. So say something that you learned from that, something you learned from here. You can't say I used it, I will use. You haven't made anything yet on here. Okay, I can you paint if I want, so make sure that you have a look at that. Something you learned about finishes, something you learned about that, something you learned about that, something you learned about that, and it's all I will. Nothing is made here yet. Alright, so you need to have a good look at this section here, Cal. Sign idea 1. Okay, excellent. Good man. Okay, good man. Yeah, perfect. Round shape, space, perfect. Okay, good man. Yeah, that's alright. Good stuff. Okay. Laminate drawers, keys, clear perspex, good man. Perspex, good man, very good. Okay. Tractor, good stuff. Is it design in for? Alright, okay. Yeah, alright, okay. Yeah, so that's designed, so you 4 designed it is, good man. Right. And then maybe your final idea, so your sketch of the final idea will be what your final one looks like, you know what I mean? So that's going to be up on a little plinth there, isn't it? With the grass on top of it and the hurley thing coming out here. So that can be your final design, you know what I mean? And then change change these sections accordingly. Good man. That is, your design section is brilliant, Cal. That's going to look very, very well, and if you can get a good proper sketch of the final one in there, that'll look brilliant. Your working drawings, good man, they're perfect. Good stuff. So that's what it looks like from above. Right, so you can say maybe that it changed in the final one, it changed a small bit, or you weren't sure that you were going to put that in. That'll be alright though. Right, your cutting list, just make sure, name every single piece of wood that you use to make it. If I said to you, Carl, you have 2 weeks to make the project, what pieces do you need to remake that thing? Give me all of them. And if there's bits like, I don't know, the grass or a handle on a drawer. I don't think you've a handle on a drawer or any other things, put them in there. Good man. Evaluation, that needs to be filled in. So there's a great example inside there, and there's headings that you can use to do the evaluation and the conclusion as well. So Carl, you've a right chance here at an excellent mark. So make sure you fill in the sections I told you to fill in. Make sure you add in the little bits before you hand this up on Friday morning. Add in them little bits, and your project is excellent. You'll get a very good mark in this if you can follow through on this little portfolio. You have a very good chance of getting a good project. It's going to be a good project. I know that it's a good project now. Even if you were to hand this up now, you have a good project. You have a chance of having an excellent project if you fill out the things I tell you to. Good man.